Even Kevin Hart is doing it. Okay, even if Kevin Hart is doing it, yeah, it means that it's something that it can be explored. Okay, so when it gets to Hollywood and making movies or creating movies around holidays or maybe special occasion or seasons, they have seasons in the US. When it comes to Kenya, it's a bit different because trying to force that idea, even when it comes to our national holidays, it's actually very difficult because what we have as national holidays, they are normally politicized very much. So it's basically an African thing. So it gets very difficult, even as a creative. I know maybe filmmakers might try to do it, yes. But now the concept is that it will be difficult because most of our holidays just run around that political issues: Independence, Madaraka Day, Mashujaa Day, then obviously Christmas. But we have not even ventured too much into Christmas movies. So that's why the concept is still a bit difficult to execute because of the nature of holidays that we have. I think Mashujaa Day, there's the Utamaduni Day somewhere. I think for that one, we can try work around that. But now for the others, that one, no. Okay, it's still very complicated because just how we do, even as creatives. So Utamaduni Day, I would say it has a chance to be filmed or maybe to have people do film around that, because we've been talking about authenticity all this while. We've been talking about trying to share our culture with the outside world. So that kind of holiday might attract people or maybe filmmakers or whoever is in the production industry to come up and just do something around it. But for the others, no. Okay, because yes, even if we're borrowing ideas and content from outside, but just trying to execute them, for me personally, I think it's still difficult. For Valentine's, what I've seen mostly it's music, because music it's easy sometimes when you want to create a certain message around love and the idea of love. But now, also Kenyans, we don't have that urge to consume content just because it is around that period, or maybe there's a holiday that is coming up. Because Valentine's, yes, it's a good holiday, it's a big one for people who are in relationships, but still creating content around Valentine's, maybe doing it in a comical way, because what we have understood by the biggest consumers of content in Kenya, they prefer something that is done comically, like as a comedy. Okay, so that's how it can be consumed. But now trying to just package it as a romantic movie, we want to do this, it's very cliche, especially for the Kenyan audience, because we tend to focus. I don't know why it's an African thing. Like we want either if it's not too serious or very serious. Okay, in between hapo hatuko, but very serious or not serious. That's why we prefer comedy and politics. Those are our biggest, like our biggest content is based around those two things. It's either funny or it's either political or sad or whatever. So for Valentine's, making content around that, maybe twisting it into a comic. When it gets to Kenyan film and its influence on the audience, it hasn't gotten to the point where we have to, or we might say that it has that influence that maybe other industries have. Comparing it to Hollywood and Nollywood, it's a bit different because the way Hollywood does it, I've repeated this thing over and over again: authenticity, like telling your own stories. Nollywood bases on that so much. I want to tell my original story. I want to tell a story from my tribe. I want to do this. But now you look at Kenya, we want to do what other people are doing instead of doing things according to how we feel, how we live, how we act traditionally, basically where we've come from. We rarely tell stories from our background. We want to tell stories according to other people, and that's why we're making a lot of gangster movies lately, which for me is very annoying at times because yes, there's crime and all that, but why are you putting it as a stereotype that Nairobi is full of gangsters? Yes, it is, but we don't have to tell people. Okay, just let people discover for themselves. Okay, like we don't have to keep on showing people like, oh, Jericho and all. If you've noticed, all these films are being done in Eastlands or referred. There's a major reference from Eastlands. Okay, it's not like other areas don't have crime. Kibera has crime. Kawangware has so much crime. Okay, so basing the whole story, because I've seen Monkey Business, it's a crime movie. There's the other one, Kamtupe, it's also a crime movie. You see, so crime all the time. Even Kashmani had crime in it. Volume had crime in it. Okay, so we are trying. I don't know why it's becoming like our genre. Okay, we are becoming like people who make crime drama or crime movies. It's the way Hollywood was doing. Maybe they might try because Hollywood used the drama part, and it became very big. Maybe Kenya it can become big, but at the end of the day, I think we are losing it in terms of just trying to make movies that are very relatable. Okay, because now if you make a crime movie and you're showing it to an audience in Kakamega, the reason why I think if you've watched Disco Matanga by Jackie Vike, the reason why it's relatable is because people have gone to Disco Matanga. People have lived with families. People have lived with people from Ushago. And that's why they are very into it, because I've watched the first season of it and it was so good because it's relatable. So no matter what tribe you are, because I've been to Coast, I've been to other places, people go for Disco Matanga. Okay, and the culture around it. So you see, create something that people can relate with. Okay, and that's why most of our films don't have an influence, because we are not creating relatable stories.